guys, Bryson Taylor here. Welcome back to today's video. Today I wanted to bring you a lesson on soloing and how to change up and freshen up your solos. Now this is mostly directed at beginners. Now if your solos sound like this, then this video is for you. Now, not that there's anything wrong with that, but the up and down pentatonic motions, the picking every note, that's what we want to change. We want to add a little more character, some more techniques to kind of make us sound a little more experienced, instead of just picking every single note going up and down a scale. That's the ultimate goal with today's lesson, is to just enhance your solos, add a little more character to them. Now we're going to freshen up our solos and kind of give it a little more character just by adding these simple techniques that can make a huge difference in the way your solos sound. So let's dive in, get started, and let me show you technique number one. Alright, so for all of our techniques that we're going to be doing today, we're going to be using one simple lick. And we're going to be on the G string. It's going to be 7, 5, 7 on the G string. Now that's like a bluesy rock lick. I'm sure you guys could probably think of a circumstance to use that, like on some blues, like something along those lines. But we're going to use this lick because we can use all of the techniques in a way on this particular lick to really hear how they sound and, what the purpose of them is, and to hear how they can really, make our solos a little more colorful. So when we're doing technique number one, which for technique number one, we're going to be doing a hammer-on and pull-off. So obviously we're going 7, 5, 7, so we'd have to pull off first. So pulling off, all you're going to do is pull your finger off instead of picking 3 times, down, up, down, picking all 3 notes. You're just going to pick on 7 and then pull your finger off to 5. So it's one picking motion that you don't have to go down, up, down. So instead of doing that, you would go, and then you hammer your finger back on after you pull it off. So it's a hammer-on pull-off. Instead of, again, now we have. Now I'm sure you've seen Eddie Van Halen do something like that, or Stevie Ray Vaughan was notorious for, doing something like that. But again, it's to add a little more color, and instead of, picking everything, you can now pull off and hammer on. But adds a little more color to your solo, so you can use it in a solo circumstance. And it works, and it sounds really nice instead of the robotic up and down picking motions. So that's technique number one. All right, let's check out technique number two. All right, so for technique number two, again, we're on that same lick. We're going to be 7, 5, 7 on the G. But again, instead of picking it and, picking every single note, we're going to slide on this one. So sliding, you literally just slide your finger back and forth between the notes that you're on. So what we're going to do for this is we're going to start with our index finger on the 7th fret, and we're going to pick it and slide back to 5. And then slide back up to 7. Again, it works in a solo circumstance. Now you can go back and forth. Or you can start on 7 with your ring finger and slide that way if that's easier for you. However you prefer to do it, whatever works best for you, the player. But that's just another technique to kind of put in your little bag of tricks to enhance your soloing. So again, instead of, we now have a slide motion. And you can even pick 7 without sliding to 5 and then just slide 5 to 7. But there's a bunch of little variations you can do with the slide, and that's what's cool about adding these techniques. You can implement them however you want and add color to your solos. But that's technique number two. All right, lastly, technique number three, probably my personal favorite, we are going to learn to bend. So again, same lick, 7, 5, 7. Now, obviously, I can't bend on the 7th fret on the G and get the note that I want that's on the 5, so we have to obviously pick the 7th fret on the G first, and then we have to go down to 5. So if you want to pick it, you can hammer on to get to that note. You can slide to it. Bunch of different things you can do. But when you get to that 5th fret after you hit 7, you simply want to bend the G string up to the 7th fret G string note, which would be a D. Or you can do a pre-bend. You can start bent with that note. To me, that's a very Leonard Skinner kind of thing to do. Kind of reminds me of Santana. But something along those lines, just to give you an example. But that is something that you can do, again, to add color to your solos, is bending. So you can bend after you hit 7 on, the G string, and bend down with your index. That's a little more difficult. I would recommend hitting 7 and then probably sliding down was what I would prefer, and then bending, because it still has that nice bendy kind of bluesy sound, but it adds a little more color to it. You're doing 2 techniques. You're sliding and bending. But again, you can use it in all kinds of blues, rock, country circumstances. But that's technique number 3. So again, with all these techniques, the ultimate goal is to get you out of the robotic up and down pentatonic box and just incorporate some techniques within the pentatonic box that make your solos sound a little more advanced, a little more colorful. Again, not so animatronic, just everything's up and down and repetitive, but just to add more color to your solo. So hopefully you guys found this lesson useful. But guys, that will conclude today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys aren't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate that. But as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day.